Welcome and welcome back to the Metro Icon Podcast. And in case you guys do not know who I am, I'm Shawn Kay the Showman of Do It All Entertainment and DIA Media Solutions. And if this is your first time to the show, hey, thanks for tuning in and thanks for checking us out. Before I talk about the amazing guests that I have on this show, I'm going to talk a little bit about some updates and what we got going on. The Library Bar is the full resident spot to catch me at every single week. We have the first and third Tuesdays of the month where we have the live podcast party with On Air Don't Care, where me and my guy, Blue Label Johnny, lay down our explosive dynamic in a live interaction show where outside of the off-the-wall topics of discussion, we bring on people who sign up for an interview slot to discuss anything they would like to engage with us about. So we are the only ones doing this anywhere. So if you want to see what it's about and showcase yourself, you can catch us at the Library Bar every first and third Tuesday of the month. And then on the second and fourth Tuesday of the month, I am hosting an open mic and karaoke night for everyone to come have fun and showcase any original material, whether it's comedy, music, or whatever you'd like. We will also be putting on a talent showcase every other month from the amazing talents that come through. So come to the Library Bar on Tuesday nights and show us what you got. And of course, I got various shows I'm doing all around DFW, from comedy to DJing. And starting this Friday, February 10th at the Comedy Arena, I'm doing a karaoke night after the last comedy show. And we'll be kind of doing this on Friday nights moving forward. And then this Saturday, I got the Shades of Love Fashion Expo after party at 9 p.m. in Plano. So make sure you guys are following me on my Instagram at Shawn Kay Do It All to get the announcement of upcoming shows and events to come and check out. And of course, I gotta talk about our sponsors, y'all, because I want to make sure you guys are taking advantage of all these amazing deals from these amazing companies, starting with InsiderCloth.com, the last microfiber cloth you will ever need. Listen, we all know the habit of using our shirts and fabrics to clean off our screens and glass lenses, but we don't understand that we can actually lessen the quality and visibility of those services. Insider Cloth is an innovative solution that's so easy to apply to most of your common wear, and it's seriously the best kept secret to keep that common habit. So go to InsiderCloth.com and apply the promo code DIACloth, that's DIACLOTH, to receive 10% off your next order. And then, of course, I got to talk about my number one dude, Teddy Johnson of D&K Contracting. Yo, this dude is the do-it-all of contract work for your next home restoration project or insurance claim, especially with all these new regulations in the state of Texas for those insurance repairs on your home. This is the guy who will take away your biggest headaches to make sure you get it done right and provide the greatest return of result to get that job done. So all you got to do is get a free consultation. Email him at teddyj.dkcontracting@gmail.com, and you'll see why every person he works with goes back to him to get things done for their home. And finally, whether it's your next live event or live media production, we are your one-stop event shop. You got to hit up Do It All Entertainment for your live entertainment needs and DIA Media for your full production needs on your next media project. And you can get up to $150 off your next contract package. So you can hit us up at doitalllive.com for Do It All Entertainment or through DIA Media at diamediapro@gmail.com. This episode is going to be a super, super fun one because I'm actually talking to a homie I've known for well over a decade. And he's been doing things all over the world, but he's currently in China doing stunt work at the Waterworld and Universal Studios. And he happened to be in town, and I had to get him on the pod. And we have such a fun conversation, just talking about just old things that we've kind of gone through, but also what his current experiences are living in a whole different type of world. So this is my guy, Robby Allen, the stuntman, DJ, sound producer, pretty much the white do-it-all man that makes the things happen. So turn your speakers up, get live. This is my podcast episode with my guy, Robby Allen.
You can do it all. You can.
Do it all, baby.
That's right. Do it all, baby, in the house. This is going to be a fun episode, y'all. It is a Saturday afternoon, and a beautiful day it is in DFW. And this is going to be a very, very fun episode. Welcome, everybody, to the Metro Icon Podcast, where we talk about the world of entertainment and media and the icons that live in it. And, of course, if you don't know who I am, I'm Shawn Kay the Showman of Do It All Entertainment and DIA Media. And I like to bring in some amazing talents all through the world of entertainment media. This guy is a multifaceted dude. And this is going to be a very fun episode because this is a homie that I've known for nearly a decade from back to the Chicago days. And he is a talented MC. He is a dope DJ. He's an incredible sound engineer. And he is a Wuhan stuntman. Give it up for my guy, Mr. Robby Allen.
What's up, dude? I love that. I love that board. That is so cool.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie. I was like, yellow is applause. I was looking. I was like, it took me a second to get really into
That's
it.
why I was waiting for you to hit the wrong button and just be like, womp, womp, womp.
I do have that. I do have that. I came prepared, bro.
Dude, this is
Okay,
so
what's
cool.
up, brother?
How are you, man?
Dude,
It's been
I
a minute.
haven't. So you guys have to know. So
Okay.
me and Robby got to know each other almost 10 years ago in my craziest Chicago club days.
Yep.
Downtown Chicago, at the former Castle nightclub Chicago, which is now Tao Chicago.
Most people probably back in the day knew it as Excalibur.
Yeah, it was former Excalibur, and then before that it was Greenlight.
Really?
Did you know that? Yeah.
No, I didn't know that.
That was his first when they first bought the building. When Alucard, yeah, when Alucard
Yeah.
bought that building, it was
Dude,
Greenlight.
that
Then it
place
Excalibur.
is haunted.
Yeah.
Dude, this is so crazy.
Oh, you
like,
you never gave ghost tours? I used to give
No.
ghost tours
No.
back in the day.
Really?
Yeah. And I'm
No.
just going to go ahead and apologize to my fiance. This is like, pre-relationship status and everything
I
like
know where
that.
you're going with this.
But yeah, some of my stories. And when I was trying to when we had the cabaret nights and stuff like that, right? Because that place was like 50% locals, 50% tourists.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for the most part.
A lot of older dudes would bring like escorts there and stuff.
Oh,
and pay them.
my
And we'd be
God.
trying to pick them out, be like, no, that
And
girl's,
then
that
you-
girl's Russian for sure.
And
that
then you
guy's
can't
85.
Then you can't forget the tranny crew. Remember the tranny crew?
Oh man!
Yeah.
Wow, that
Yeah.
was a night.
They were disappointing old Indian men everywhere.
Oh yeah, and they all these Indian dudes were up on the front of the stage like, oh my god.
Oh yeah. So any people listening and stuff like that, Robby, I gave him the card, to be able to do his white man Indian accent and stuff. It's not terrible. It's not the worst.
It's only got one punch left on it.
We've definitely one last on the punch card. Facts. But yeah, no, I used to. I remember when there were like girls, especially out of town girls, and I would tell them that
Yeah.
it was on. But I actually had paranormal shit that happened.
Really? While you were there?
Yeah.
Wow. Because I only heard the stories. I never stayed there when they
I
turned
had
the
like
lights off.
two
I
or
was
three.
gone.
I had 2 or 3 like paranormal moments that happened. But yeah, I'd give these girls like tours and stuff, and then just tell them how haunted it was and stuff. And then
It used to be a church, right?
no, it was always a nightclub venue. It was always a
They
nightclub.
built it because it looks like a church building, though.
No, it was like built in like the 1800s as like a common, like almost like a country club type of like it was like
Yeah.
a club like for elite.
Yeah.
And so it was kind of then it became like a show place and they would do cabaret nights and all that
Yeah.
kind of stuff.
Dude, that place was awesome. It had like 5 different clubs in one.
Yeah.
Like it was huge. Function 1 sound system.
Tao
like,
is not the same.
No.
It's just not
Probably
the same
not.
now. I mean, the restaurant's cool, but it's crazy, man, when you walk in, because you remember how that place was set up with Castle, right?
Right,
like when you
right,
would
right.
walk in and see the cabaret room,
Yeah.
bar on the left, stairs to the nightclub up
Yeah, yeah,
to the
yeah.
right? And then you had the dome, So
Right.
that's so the nightclub and the dome, those were where the paranormal moments happened. But the most happened the dome because remember they used to have automatic the sinks.
Yeah.
That shit would just go by itself
Really?
all the time. Paper towels would come down.
What?
And then the story was that the common one was this little girl. Because
Yep, the little girl.
the
Heard about
reason
that.
for its haunting, this is crazy. I actually looked it up. The reason for its haunting was that there was, I think in the early 1900s, a big ferry, like a Chicago ferry that was on the river.
Yeah.
It like got like crashed or burned or something like that, right? And so it was by the river and it was super close to that building. They couldn't take all of the victims to the hospital at the time, so they were storing bodies in that building.
Yeah.
And so, like, there's a folklore that like there was a little girl that died in that building and she stays in that building. So the one thing they say is like if you do see like the paper towels or the water going off, that's a little girl like playing with it.
Really?
And then so you know in the dome room there's usually when they had like the private parties, and there was one point where like they didn't have it. Sometimes when I had the cabaret room and I was like the party in there, and I had to like take a shit and there was nothing going on in the dome room, I would go into the dome room, but like it'd be quiet as hell because it's like the way it's central. It's like a second different building. And I would call out and be like, hey, little girl, if you're in the room. And then you can hear like, you know how behind the bar they had like those tumblers stacked? They weren't glass, but they were like the hard plastic ones.
Right.
You can hear like a
no.
like fingers running across that thing. Nobody's in the thing. Nobody's in the club. Like I'm looking around. Nobody's in the club. You know how it was like multiple tiers?
Yeah.
Nobody's in the fucking bar.
I emceed there once in that room. I didn't have a paranormal experience, but it was for the like University of Chicago like law or whatever, like the Chicago Law like college or whatever. No, it was like for the like graduates or whatever, and it was a private party.
Oh, like all the law schools.
And there was who was this? There was that DJ in a la carte, like Mexican guy, but like really cool. I want to say it was Manny. Was it Manny?
Oh yes.
Manny Mayhem or whatever.
Yeah. I think
Manny.
I think so. Yeah.
And Manny was in there DJing. I was emceeing, and you remember how they had the little like go-go things that like because DJ's on the second level, right? And there were these like things you could step out onto. It was almost not like a stripper pole, but it was a little like balcony. There was a few of them in the corners.
Yeah.
So
in the dome room.
Dude, yeah. So they had me like step out on that thing. Manny did like the do and like gave me a shitload of echo. Like hello, you know how I like it. Chicago, like yeah. Chicago, like just hold it out. And he hit a button. He hit a button. Seriously, dude. He hit a button. He blacklighted it out, and I gave him the big "Are you ready?" You know what I mean? Just like huge, like, and it made my night.
Oh my god! Yeah, dude, I would say
awesome,
I would say those castle days because you came in.
I came
in the last
year, the last like 3 months before they closed.
Yeah. I was there since Castle's inception. So then I came in. I think you and I worked together first.
Yes.
And then you met like Vargy and then a bunch of other guys.
He still Snapchats me nowadays. Like
and
like,
then
how's China?
Yeah. I haven't talked to Vargy in a minute. I miss that dude, man.
He's everywhere.
I'll tell you,
what does he do? I watch him. He does some stuff, man.
He does well, man. His job, his day job does well. But he is one dude that like I will actually say his Indian accent on point.
I've heard him do it once. He did it one night.
Good.
He did it one night at Drink Nightclub, and I was like, oh my god, I got some work to do. I'll be back.
Vargy, that's one dude where I'm just like, I'll never shit on his Indian accent because he's really, really good in the way he does it. But it's so funny we went. If that's not a testament of our relationship, that we just go right into the stories as soon as this podcast starts.
Tangents.
This guy has been around. I haven't seen him in over 2 years. Last time I saw him, I was still living in Chicago.
Yep.
And it was during 2020.
Yeah.
And you came in to visit from China. So when
I
said
moved back from China.
Oh, you moved back, but you went back.
I was there. I was only there on a 6
You
month.
visited, dog.
Well, okay, in a way.
You didn't move back to Chicago to move back to China.
Look, man, I just go where the money goes.
Shut your bloody. I don't want to hear your bloody bullshit fucking shit. I don't want to fucking hear it. Shut your mouth. Time and place. Time and place.
Like Austin Powers, like, what is he? Dr. was like, you can zip it and zip it good. And zip it good.
But you didn't have an Indian accent, you fuck.
No, he didn't do the Indian accent.
So you don't need to throw it in.
Look, I take a penny and leave a penny. That was bad.
That's not bad. But actually, it was.
Anyways,
it was also kind of good. I actually kind of like that one. Take a penny. I take a penny. You leave.
Well, I mean, it's Apu. It's Simpsons, right? Like, they set up a lot of stereotypes. Especially for Asians.
Don't get me started on that whole Apu. I mean, like, there's one thing that like how these iconic characters that are mostly iconic to like the white American base and shit, and then they're playing these white voice actors are voicing ethnic characters, and you don't know it for years, right? So there's such an establishment of this character, and then you hear it, and you're just like, man, every brown man, I know every brown man when they learn that shit, they're just like, Man, what the fuck, dude?
Well, and you look at behind the scenes at Family Guy, the creator of that show. He does like 12 out of the 20 voices. You know what I mean? They just
But the majority white.
he's really good.
The majority white.
Yeah.
And I guess it's kind of like one of those things where it's not as bad as it's like as long as it's I guess culturally appropriate.
Right.
But when you're enhancing on like the worst, it's almost essentially you give the white man ammo of the one type of person that would possibly say
Right.
some shit about your culture.
Right.
It's like giving them ammo and then
Right.
knowing that it was a white dude who voiced that actor, and it's kind of like feeding to make fun of it.
And their excuse is that it's a cartoon, so they're like, "Oh, it's not
Right,
real."
right,
but
right,
I'm like,
right,
"Yeah,
right,
but
right.
your voice was real. It's pretty
Yeah,
racist."
yeah,
And now
yeah.
everyone down the road
But like
feels that way.
Here's the thing: is like I've telling you the car like as shitty as your Indian accent, and I'll give you shit for it and whatever.
Of course.
I don't get annoyed of it because you don't. It's not like you're going around to every Indian person you meet.
No.
It's literally only when you and I are together.
I
like
just-
this is homies. You know?
I just like to poke the bear and give you a little, "Hey, how are you? Hey, how are you?"
Yeah.
You know?
But like you know, and this guy, I gotta say, is that this dude is Robby's impressive. Now I'll tell you this, people. A lot of people don't know this. A lot of my covers that I've done and put out on YouTube, my song "Getaway," which is probably my most popular song that I've released. Most people connect to it. He was the sound engineer
That was a
on
fun
this.
one.
Yeah, man, and that was like what we did with a lot of. I remember when we did that one in Wisconsin. I drove up and I think I saying blessed souls.
No, I lived in-
and I believe.
I lived in
Love
dude. I
is
lived
the
in
answer.
I lived in Woodstock, not Wisconsin.
Oh, there we go. There we go.
It was just like you came at rush hour,
Bro, you lived. First off, you lived in both, and both of them looked the same.
But that was okay, fair enough. But like that was like kind of my tryout for you though, because like we had worked
Yeah.
together a lot. And
But I didn't know you as an engineer.
And I said I went to music college in London, and you showed up, and at the end of it, you were. I mean, and I think we've done even better work since then.
Yeah.
But for like just starting out, like, and me just getting back from music college in London, like, we made something really cool, and that was like also like for me it was fun, and it was like when you gave me that compliment in the end, you're like, dude, I came here expecting kind of something this and that, but it's like it totally blew me away. And ever
Yeah.
since then, whenever I'm in town, you
dude.
just hit me up and be like, yo, you want to record? Or?
Yeah, man, and that was like one thing is that like especially when like during the COVID stuff or whatever, and it was like, I remember telling Sunu and Timmy where I was like, yo, we're about to find the true ball players in the game because
Right.
people weren't going to be creating content; they were just going to be waiting for things to happen, waiting for the
Something.
opportunities to
Yeah,
come
yeah,
back.
yeah.
And like always with you and I, it's always been 100, where it's kind of like, yo, let's just make something or like work on something and put our craft into work. You know,
just put you're just putting, even if you're not getting paid, you're just, your name is out there. It's flowing. That
Yeah, dude.
show people that you care, that you're professional, and you're not waiting. That was one of my teachers told me that at music college in London. It was like no one's gonna discover you. You whatever it is that you do. You can sell cars. You have to go put yourself out there to do that. Like you have to get your face out there in whatever capacity that may be.
yeah. And that was even when I had a marketing teacher when I was in Columbia, and he would say, he would be like, is it about who you know? And like most of the audience would be, or the classroom would be like, yes. And he's like, you're wrong. It's about who knows you.
Right.
And they're not going to know you unless you put you out there.
Right,
But you have to be consistent. You have to show up. You have to come through. It might be
Right.
a little bit of a catalyst of my whole phrase. Showman
Yeah.
shows up.
Exactly. And exactly. There goes the close.
Merch available at the Metro Icon, metroicon.live.
Here comes the website, www.metroicon.live.
Shop now. Metroicon.live.
Let me just put my hand out, and you can like use your little bell thing. And insert it.
BLJ will do it. My boy Johnny will do it. He's
Awesome.
That's my guy.
Johnny, there.
I was hoping
There's another one.
he had some stuff to take care of. I was hoping he was going to come because I wanted him to, well, first off, meet you, but
Yeah.
you have the most non-conventional as far as like your flow of your career from like going to school and the work that you've done. And as your friend, man, and a professional, like close confidant, like it's been such a humbling experience to be able to see so many of the things that you've done. And now for what, the last 2.5 years,
Yeah.
you've been in China.
Yeah. During their pandemic, yeah.
Which probably never ends.
I mean, they've made ever since all that civil unrest, they made like 180-degree turn. I've been telling everybody because that's the thing when I'm just back visiting right now, and I'll go back for another year and a half, but at least, right?
Yeah.
And when you're talking to all these people and you come back home visit, like how's China? How's China? How's China? Hey Rob, how's China? You know, like so. I've got this question many times. These questions, and I'm fine to answer them, but yeah, they made a complete 180-degree direction when all that protesting happened. But the thing is, if that would have just happened in one city, that wouldn't have nothing would have happened. They needed, and I was actually really proud of the Chinese people for doing that because like it's not the roughest country, but that is a rough country. For a citizen, you know what I mean? Like they were stopping passports for people to allow to fly. Like Chinese people, they weren't going to redo my buddy's passport, and he's like 27. I'm like that guy's got the rest of his life ahead of him. He's going to be in China forever. Yeah,
from China. Oh,
Chinese, speaks English. He went to like high school. I know a lot of guys through hockey league there. I play in a hockey league there. It's awesome.
Hockey player,
one of the best hockey leagues in the world. And
do it all, baby. This guy.
do it all.
That's
all.
why
you can do it all.
But no, but like that's what it is. So you know, I think I have an interesting question, and I'm sorry that like I kind of cut you
that's
off.
Okay.
But I do have because you know I think you understand why I call myself the showman is because I feel so many different facets, but it's all under the game of entertainment and media.
Yes.
And I kind of feel like you are in the same boat and realm, but it's like versus a showman, I feel like you're kind of a little bit more of a stuntman with like showman qualities type of thing, right?
Yeah.
And I think that was what was more interesting because before you got this contract deal at Universal Studios Waterworld, that's the show you do.
Yep.
If you guys don't know the movie Waterworld starring Kevin Costner, you're too young for me, bro. All right, that's what I want to let you know. But if you haven't seen it, fucking watch that because that movie is a phenomenon. It was amazing about the world going underwater, like pretty much all the polar ice caps melting. And
you want a little spoiler?
Oh snap! What?
So I heard, and I don't know if this is true or not, but I did hear that they were trying to relaunch, like because right now a lot of TV series are huge, right?
Yeah.
Because then
if they relaunch Waterworld,
I heard they want to relaunch Waterworld like a TV series.
That would be huge.
Yeah, because then it just gives everyone that's seen the stunt show. There's stunt shows for Waterworld in L.A., Japan, Singapore, and Beijing. And hopefully some more shows down the road, right? Where, nothing's confirmed, but it would be awesome to see that franchise continue. I mean, they're about to build another, park in Frisco. They're building a sister park.
Wait, a park like a
the Universal Park's going to be right here in Frisco.
What?
Yes, Universal Studios. They just got it approved. It's going to be built. They have 4 years to build it, so it'll be open.
There's a Universal Studios coming to Frisco.
Yeah, I was going to tell you that.
How have I not heard this? My sister lives in Frisco.
It just came out 2 days ago or something. Like they just had the announcement. Yeah, I'll show it to you when we're done.
It's got to be.
But it's gonna be I think it's gonna be more kid friendly. I don't know.
I don't
know. Hold that thought. I don't know if they're gonna have a water world, but all these
it's got to take over some of McKinney and Salina and Prosper.
All these Universals, they buy up a bunch of property.
Yeah.
Because they always want to expand. So if they want to expand, then eventually maybe they'll do because you can do Waterworld year round there.
So it kind of makes sense because they're on this progressive climb. If you're not familiar with the Frisco area, I mean they have the Star, which is the Cowboys training area, the whole nother stadium with the but it's an entertainment district.
Didn't the PGA move there too?
So the PGA headquarters is moving there, right?
Wow.
So they've already changed that exit to PGA Parkway.
Dude, that area's gonna have some money.
So it kind of makes sense because to have a golf course right by where you're gonna have this main theme park
bring your family when you're on the pro tour.
That's wild. I have to look up and see if this is actually for real.
No, it is. Look it up. But yeah, so I'll carry on with that thought. So I mean, and then Universal's building an epic park, like a sister park, like a mile down the road, and they have expansion pads there and whatnot. So there's tons of opportunity with Universal and shows and stuff. That's why I was going to bring it up to you because I was like, man, you might be able to get some sort of gig there.
First thing that comes up, Universal Studios theme park to open in Frisco as main property.
This is when you use your button and get a bip, 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 bip.
It's coming up for us in Texas, bro. I don't have the question where the air horn or the theme song is. I know exactly where those are.
Oh man, if
That's
you
wild.
hit the theme song again.
When is this happening?
That'd be great.
When is this coming in North Texas?
They have 4 years to build it. Typically, I think these parks, depending on size, take
this looks wild. This looks
Yeah.
crazy. Yeah, January 11, 2023.
I think it's going to be more kids themed though, but I don't know. I don't know for sure. They
Bro,
might.
I mean, it's Universal Studios, dude. I mean,
Right.
like, you have Universal, then you're able to do, like, anything. It's owned by Disney.
Right. So I don't know exactly what shows they're going to do yet. And I mean, now that they've got it approved, they could still slightly change the plans. But like I said, they're going to buy a lot of land for parking. For
Bro, this
hotels,
looks
everything.
wild, dude.
They're going to have expansion plans for sure. Like all these parks
This
usually
looks
have
kind of
a phase
wild,
2.
dog.
It's
mean,
cool, right?
and it's crazy because dude, this is testament to why I moved to Dallas in the first place.
New things, yeah.
Dude, no, it's
Well, you said Chicago was getting like just oversaturated a little
Yeah,
bit, right? And
yeah.
and it is a little bit.
yeah, and it's one of those things where the opportunity, like the development that's been happening in DFW, and especially in the last like 5 to 10 years, like 10
Yeah.
years for sure, but like in the last like say 5 to 8 years, like the development, I feel like it's happening faster here than anywhere else in the U.S.
Right.
Like they're building neighborhoods and highways at the same rate.
Right.
And that's just, and like, think about it this way, dude. This is like the crazy fact I learned, right? And you know how corrupt the state of Illinois is, and shit. And learning just, I'm not a politics guy and stuff,
not
but
either,
like,
but
you
you know something.
you
pick up on
yeah,
this basic
but as
stuff,
far
right?
as your
Yeah.
like things that affect your livelihood and,
Right,
and your
right,
living,
of course.
like, be on top of it, right?
Right.
And learning that the state of Illinois is like, I think under 12 million with like about half of that in Chicago.
Right.
Right. And then to Naperville and all that kind of stuff. Right. Texas is 21 million. So,
Yeah.
21 million people in Texas and in Dallas or DFW is a region.
Yeah.
It's coming up to 8 million.
Yeah.
8 million.
Wow.
Which is similar to, it's going to be probably in the next 5 years. It might even surpass Illinois' population because people have been just moving the fuck out.
Yeah. There's so much land here.
So get this
There's
now.
so much land
Get
here.
this now, right? 21 million people in the state of Texas. Illinois has like over 2 times more people sitting in their Congress or people
Right.
occupying their like government seats in Congress than the state of Texas.
Right.
And these are people that are making over like $250,000, $300,000 a year. It's just like where the money's going. That's why like shit's not happening. Everything is just like, oh, these are our plans and development starts and we breaking ground. And then they leave the ground broken.
Yeah.
That's what
And they just walk away.
They just walk away. They're like, we'll go back when we can fill it up.
I saw a meme once. It was a Chicago. Obviously, you remember Titanic, right? Where they're sharing the door, and clearly it's been myth busted. They could both share the
Titanic?
door.
Titanic?
Titanic.
Titanic?
I said Titanic.
Titanic?
Titanic.
Titanic?
King of the world. Anyways, so it was a meme.
This
it was,
one? Are you talking about this one? This one? Jack.
I never let go.
Jack. Thanks for being my friend, Jack. I think she says that. Thanks for being my friend, Jack.
Wait, so
My husband's more rich than you. You're going to have to wear me down.
you're gonna be like, so Jack,
Come on, Jack.
this is what we're going to do.
You know Kate Winslet was in the new Avatar?
Really?
Yeah, because James Cameron did that. It
Yeah.
was Way of the Water. Like, that's like his like love letter. But she was like the queen of the water tribe.
Wow.
Yeah.
But okay, so hold on. Back to this meme though. Before we go past that.
Sorry.
So no, it's okay. It was a Chicago pothole, like just a big ass pothole.
Like usual.
Yeah, and there was this door floating, and it was like the scene of them, like over the top, like I'll never let go, and it was like Chicago potholes be like, I'll send it to you. You can, if you guys edit it, you can pop it in. Like it's so funny.
Chicago's balls.
Yeah, and it's like they're like,
Yeah,
where he's
facts.
laying there, like, oh, Rose, like,
Bro, like
that's Chicago pothole for you.
Chicago is more willing to put up a sign saying hole ahead than fill the hole itself.
It probably costs more to pay the guys and drive the truck there every day to reset the sign than it does to just fill it.
Yeah, because
Oh my gosh.
it's just the worst, man. And then also their traffic is like it's not getting better. Here it's getting better.
Yeah.
Like you have traffic and Texas people want to complain about traffic.
Right.
I'm like, yo, I'm from Chicago, dog. Like this traffic's nothing. It will break. It will break within the next 20 minutes. It will break.
Yo, I've been living in China. They don't use turn signals there. If they need to save money,
do they
should
use
just
traffic
not-
lights?
I mean, well, they're there. It's more of like a what's that Pirates of the Caribbean? It's more like guidelines. The lights are there, but they are
They're more guidelines.
They're dude.
But I mean, they're a fast moving tribe. You know, like
Chinese.
Yeah, aren't they?
I mean, some.
At times.
Yes, some are at times. Some are no. And I mean that's just like culture, man. That's just their way of life. Some people were. Because let me back up a little bit. Like, no discredit to the Chinese people, but there's not a strong middle class in China. You're either you're the rich or you're poor. Yeah, like foreigners that come over there to do like expat jobs and stuff. Usually they're like the middle class kind of, but we're not. You know, most people don't move there permanently. Most people do like a 5-year stint. Some people a 10, and then they're like, you know, some people. If you've gone past 10, you're probably staying forever or a long time. But most people I know don't ever. A lot of people don't make it past 10 years. Like most people do like a 4 or 5 year stint or something, make a lot of money. They move their family over there, then they move back. Like it's like people work at the embassies there too, and they usually have like a 3-year contract, but they get sweet housing. So and like all the perks, diplomatic, you know. Whatever,
and that's the thing though is that like when you have all these things covered, being an expat, like you're able to save money to establish yourself when you do go back to like America. You're able to establish yourself. Like that's why like man, there's so many. Like I tell like certain young kids, especially even in high school, and I'm like, listen, like college is not necessarily the answer, you know, and there's so many technical jobs that you can do that you will make great money and start off no debt. You're just making great money, and then you do an overseas gig. Bro, like you're making greater money with all of your expenses paid, and then you're able to come home and establish whatever you want.
I mean, it is to argue that point. It is true, like having because I went to a couple semesters of I did like college DuPage. Like I did a couple semesters there while working at night.
This is before you went to London for
this is like
sound engineering.
This was like 2012.
Okay.
2011, 2012. Like right after 2011, I did like a summer school class there and then got into it in the fall. But it just was like, man, it just wasn't for me. And just some stuff went down in my life, and I got back on track, and I was like, man, I need to do what I love, right? And that's when I went to music college in London and got like all my degrees and certificates and stuff. They're actually here in Dallas, like believe it or not. My mom's holding on to it. She got them all framed because they're like European sizes. She got them all framed, like really cool. And I can't wait to like one day when I'm settled back in the States, like have a house or whatever, to build my studio, get back into producing, get back into drumming, recording more and stuff like that, editing music, voiceovers, whatever, right? And as a side hustle. But I can't wait to hang those diplomas like on the wall. You know what I mean? I actually, like, seriously. Since I saw you had some stuff over there.
I
do,
you
man.
Gotta
get that up, man.
Yeah, I did. Well, I got this, bro. I was featured in Voyage, Dallas, Chicago. So
no way.
So like the magazine print. So I got.
What?
Yeah. So I mean, it's more of a digital print and stuff. It's not. It's
look at that spread
though. But Voyage is in every city. So like even it brings in with a lot of tourists. You can see.
Dude,
it just helps with this SEO,
and
you know?
just the connection of meeting like people that are like printing media for you.
This right here,
what is that?
This is a painting that was made by a blind comedian. Remember I was telling about Ali Nazari?
Did he know he was using black and gold?
He's like, "What's your favorite colors?" I said, "Black and gold."
Yeah,
and so he's like looking through his one little visual eye slit to figure out if his eye are gold, or he asks his girlfriend, and he has the paints ready to go, and then he just goes to fucking town.
It's so crazy how like art can be perceived in so many different ways. Like,
look at it.
Like it's actually pretty cool. And a blind guy made it,
dude.
But at the same time, it's no offense to your buddy. Like, I could make my 6-year-old niece could make. You know what I mean? But that's what I mean about art is like it could be the most simple, messy.
That has happened though.
Messy, sloppy thing,
you know
but it's actually really good.
You know how many times it's like that mothers have like. Put out like their toddlers' art forms that would get sold for like tens of thousands of dollars.
Right.
Like this was he actually gave this to me on my podcast episode that I did with him.
Oh,
so
really?
This was his gift to me.
So he's sat in this chair.
And we did it. No. We did it at his restaurant in Lower Greenville.
Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah, and we did it at his restaurant, and he signed it, and it's like a little interesting signature, but it's like Iranian symbol for Ali, I think, or something.
Because it kind of makes me think of like
What does that look like?
Iranian night, like Aladdin.
What does this hieroglyphic look like to you?
No, I'm in therapy. Like, well,
you know what it looks
it
like?
actually looks like kind of like a somebody sitting Indian style, like playing with a ball.
You know what it looks like?
something.
It looks like a little dude with a flame for a head saying, "Look at my seapot."
Could it be the Slim Jim man?
Could it be
He's
the
like-
Slim Jim man?
He's like, I'm not allowed to Slim Jims.
He's like, "Look,
Do you remember that
I
commercial?
made this beef jerky like a sea."
Do you remember that? Like, it was like snap into a Slim Jim, and
Oh,
it was
the
like
Slim Jim
the
guy?
yeah. He was like, yo, he was so crazy, like it was wild.
Dude. Yeah, I mean, dude, that's why I've been loving the journey. Oh, we got to take a break.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure this camera might have turned off, and we need to make sure that we see Robby's face. But this is a good
Okay.
point for people to hear from our sponsors. So take advantage of these offers, y'all. We'll be right back. Yo, I got to take a second real quick to tell you about our sponsors that we have here for the Metro Icon podcast, starting with Insider Cloth. Now, Insider Cloth, y'all, is an innovative application to bring more clarity to all your everyday glass, screens, and professional lenses where you won't have to worry about forgetting that microfiber cloth to get the job done. Insider Cloth is an iron-pressed microfiber cloth to apply to any of your clothes or professional wear, which resides on the inside of your apparel. Now, your general fabrics can actually create micro abrasions to your glass surfaces, and over time, it actually will reduce the clarity and visibility to your glasses, cell phone, or other glass product or screens. It's super easy to apply and can be added on the inside of your common wear or even the specialty wear like your men's ties or pocket squares. Now, go to insidercloth.com and apply the promo code DIACLOTH. That's DIACLOTH to get 10% off your next order. And I promise you, y'all, Insider Cloth is the last microfiber cloth you will ever need. And now for all those homeowners out there, whether you need to get a new roof or you have a home restoration project you need to get done, y'all got to hit up my guy, Teddy Johnson of DNK Contracting. He is the most elite choice of all your commercial or residential contract needs. Teddy Johnson has been proudly serving DFW and providing all roofing style needs, as well as gutter and siding installation, custom metalwork, kitchen and bathroom remodels, fence building, window replacements, and so much more. And especially when dealing with those tedious insurance claims, Teddy Johnson provides the most outstanding quality of work and customer service you won't receive anywhere else. You got to email him now at teddyj.dkcontracting@gmail.com. Get a free consultation on your next home restoration project or home repair. And we're back, y'all. Taking a little short break to reset the cameras and just kind of collect our thoughts, man. You know, dude, I cannot stress enough, dude, that, you know, as we get older, we, you know, kind of make our circle a little bit smaller, right?
Right.
There's not as much longevity with a lot of people. And you might have connections, but like even in the time that you've been in China, you and I have been keeping in touch this whole time. But like even after Castle, where we first met, like our careers just kept intertwining.
Yes.
And like my business, like I put you on a couple Do It All gigs.
Yep.
And
We did some recording gigs for Do It All as well too.
yeah, oh yeah, for sure. And so like, you know, the fact that like our relationship, even almost 10 years later, it's coming back. Like that's for me. Like I respect the real ones all the way, you know, and we always recognize that, man. But we have some like crazy stories. Well, I mean, like before we go into some of the past stuff, like of the gigs that we've done, like, so like what is your overall experience? Like you've been being a acting stuntman at this show in China, and you've been doing it for over 2.5 years.
Right.
How's your Chinese now? Like, is it Cantonese or Mandarin?
So Mama Hoo Hoo.
Is a little bit of both.
No, Mama. No, Mama Hoo Hoo means like so. Like you said, how's my Chinese? I said,
like it's like
a Mama Hoo Hoo.
It's like asi.
No, so like when I get in a Didi, which is their Uber, it's called Didi, and I get in the car and they're like, oh, you know, wait, ni hao, and you have to say the last 4 digits of your phone number. So I'm like Jojo Chisu, and that's like 6694. So I can't remember my phone number. Anyways, but I say Jojo Chisu, and it works, and they let me in, right? They're like, yay. And then the dude will be like, you know, I don't know. So I go, the Timadong, which means like, I don't understand. And the guy goes, eh? It just starts going off at me again. I'm like, Timadong, Lawai, like, look at me. And then he's like, mask, pull up the mask. okay, whoa. Like, and then he goes, now he knows.
That's a problem you don't have in Texas.
Now
dude.
he knows English, right? Like, so, dude.
You put on your mask.
Yeah. And then they want to be buddies. Where are you from? And I'm like, America. And I sometimes just because I'm just like not in the mood for it, I just go, where are you from? And they're like, China. I'm like, no way. So, no, I respect the Chinese people, man, and for all the stuff they did and standing up. But yeah, there's some parts about China that are they're just a different culture, man.
Yeah.
They're funny. Like there's things they do where at first it makes you really mad. You're like, why is this happening? But you realize that so many people do it that it's just a thing there that nobody cares. There'll be a lady walking down the street just like clapping her hands as she walks. Some guy like stretching, like doing whatever. Like
YMCA.
Some guy. I have to pull the mic back for this one. I saw one guy walking around just going, hey, and just walking like going for a walk. Hey. I'd walk by him and give him a clap.
Hey, Mickey, you're so fine, you blow your mind,
Hey,
Mickey. I like you.
Hey, Mickey. I like you too. Hey.
But stay out of my house, mouse.
I thought you were gonna go into like a Borat accent there, man.
No, dude. You got to keep it to the culture, to what you know.
I know.
You know what I mean?
I know Borat.
And if me busting out my interpretation of a Chinese accent or
Let me hear it.
Ding
dong. Like you've been watching that guy on Instagram.
No. Are you from America? You from America? You from America?
Dude, that just sounds like stereotypical like Asian. I don't know. Like that's not like Chinese. Chinese is more like
technically India is part of Asia, but technically
Chinese is more like ni hao, chinama, like
yeah.
like,
When you saying the words,
yeah.
You know?
But you're doing. Oh, you want to do the English?
I
rendition.
I do love the Chinese word for
No, don't say it. Don't say it. I mean, if you want to say it, you can say it. But because you know what, I'm not. If you say, I told you what it is, but by you
no,
saying,
I knew
I'm
it.
not
I already
lying.
knew what it was.
Hey,
I already knew what it was.
As long as you explain.
You brought
to
it
your
up.
viewers.
You brought it up in the car ride, and I'm like, oh yeah, I do know that
as
one.
long as you explain what it means to your viewers, then maybe you.
Look at
can
this
say
white
it.
man get fucking nervous. Like this white man's so nervous right now.
I'm looking around.
He's so
dude.
nervous. Listen, it's not derogatory if you're saying it in a
It's
different
true,
language.
but it's their culture. That's
yeah,
the word they use.
It's the phrase of like our conversational break when we say like
Yes.
in China, and actually this is most Asian cultures actually. A lot of Asian dialects do this, but like their is like nigga.
Yeah.
Nigga.
They say it. They say so. So
That's why there's no black people in China.
Yeah. So in China, jigga means that, and nigga means this. I believe. If I messed those two backwards, I'm sorry, but I believe that's what it is. But they'll start the conversation.
So
like,
they love Jay-Z.
I guess.
Yeah, they gotta love Jay-Z.
But they'll start the conversation like, ni hao, Shawn, da nigga, da, 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 da. Seriously, and then they go, da nigga, da, da, nigga. I swear to God, bro, I can't. But that's just their language. That's how they say it. That's how they do it.
That's how they do it. That's how they do it. So
Yeah.
I encourage all black people to go to China.
dude.
I encourage all black people to go to China.
But that's the thing is there are darker brothers there, and
really, do you see a lot? Do you see a fair amount of black people there?
Yeah, they
Really?
they come from like, dude, I've met some of the best musicians from like just islands and stuff, or from South Africa or somewhere in Africa. Like they come there to teach or do music, or like Beijing, we're in the capital, has a lot of opportunities and varieties there. You just have to find them.
Yeah.
So it's not all bad. Like you meet a lot of cool people with a lot of cool stories from around the world.
So how's that been like? Like, like meeting that out, like, pretty much these like expat type of individuals like yourself that are coming to China for, contract opportunity, temporary opportunity. That's got to be pretty, y'all are you're pretty much finding like a little bit of a commonality in your presence being there, right?
I mean, we're all foreigners. We're away from our families.
Yeah.
And most people that were there for I was there for the last 2 years. They were there even longer than that. They were like stuck, man. They couldn't leave. They couldn't go no anywhere.
Yeah.
Like they were just stuck there in this quarantine thing, which it was weird because when I flew back over in 2021, because I was there in 2019 for 6 months, and then I was there when it happened. So then everybody left because there was nowhere to go. You know what I mean? Like everybody was like, well, I'm getting out of here. But there was no checks or anything, so everybody just flew. And like that's how that stuff spread. But their government like told them that we did it. Like that's how crazy. So
in the COVID,
yeah,
the corona.
Yes, the Wuhan flu. So they're
probably also, you know what's funny? They're probably also not lying.
Who knows? I mean, really,
because it, to my understanding, like, because COVID, the virus is actually, you know, it's a science lab made virus, right?
yeah,
But the patents are American.
right.
Like there are people, Americans that have the patents in it, and they probably had the
Right.
lab.
Yeah,
you know,
dude,
this Wuhan lab.
This whole thing's a mess, man.
Yeah,
like
dude,
Deep,
it's
deep,
a world,
deep state kind of mess.
It's a world conspiracy type of thing. You know what I mean?
It's a big one, but this is one that everyone can. You know, some people
Now,
don't
let me
believe
ask you
in
this.
conspiracies, but this is one everyone like. You have to jump on.
Yeah.
You
Let
have
me
to.
let me ask you this: as far as conspiracies go,
Yeah.
when people were saying that like COVID and Corona were like a ploy of population, like a population control.
Oh, to try to kill people to like lessen the population.
Yeah,
On the
like
planet.
to lessen the population.
Sure it would bring the temperature of the Earth down.
Well, you know what's about that? Then you know how like the ozone, there was a huge
Yeah.
hole in the ozone layer.
Yeah.
So when we shut down, that shut down a majority, like pretty much factories all around the world.
And
Majority
airplanes,
in
right?
majority in China, yes, planes, like even the oceans.
Yeah.
Even the
only
oceans.
planes that were allowed was military.
Yeah.
I believe that was it.
And
right?
so, like, if you think about it, like the Earth has, and now the ozone layer is on track to fully heal itself.
right.
And if you think about it, how many years it took to destroy that ozone layer, but the
Yeah.
amount of time it took to heal.
Yeah.
Like that's how strong the Earth is, right? Like, you
man.
know, like to have something like that, you know, like, dude, that was a detrimental part to like greenhouse gases and like our whole
Right.
climate change, you know, effect. You know, as long as if we have an ozone layer protection, that actually helps to regulate a lot of our
Right.
like environmental situations. So
And that's what's tough about Beijing is you're surrounded by mountains. So like any factory stuff that they produce, and they do produce a lot of stuff. And now that they're
it
shipping,
like stays in there.
well, now that their shipping's going to be easier, I mean, even though everybody's mad at China, they're low key. People still want to make money. There's probably definitely going to
Yeah,
be an
dude.
upturn in shipping with China because
my
now the problem was. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you
No,
off.
no, I cut you off.
Oh yeah, it's all good. The problem is that like if you wanted to send like this is a couple months ago, maybe even a year ago, if you wanted to send a package into China, they would hold it for like 30 days and spray the box because they think the box might have COVID. So anything you ordered would
So
have
China
to sit in like
cares.
Shanghai for like a month.
China
or
actually
something.
cares.
But this spray is like, dude, the reason nobody had it was because they kept locking down. But you still got to pay your rent. You know, maybe your job got shut because they're not allowing restaurants to be open. It's a public place. What do you do? What do you do for work? And then your building locks down, but you still got to pay rent. You still got to get food. Like these guys, that's why they just exploded. They were like, enough's enough. Like this is crazy, man.
Yeah.
Like, this is crazy. Nobody like people. There's videos on Reddit of people jumping off of rooftops in Shanghai, hanging themselves in balconies, like just trying to just end it because they couldn't afford anything. It's
Yeah.
sad, man. It was sad, no matter what. Imagine if that was in America.
I
Some
just-
big martial
I did.
law.
I
you know,
remember.
like-
I do remember seeing
crazy.
something of like their various. There's a couple different videos I've seen, but various factories that like every single morning there's a stack of people that are in front that are like willing and waiting to like just be put on for a job.
Yeah.
You know, because like whatever happens, you know, in some of these big factories and stuff like that, and maybe they just need extra hands on deck,
right.
and they're just pulling people from crowds that are already there, just like hoping and waiting for a job.
Right.
And so, like that type of population stuff, it's kind of like, you know, it's one of those things where it's like you look at COVID, you look at, you know, Avengers Endgame, and you're like, Thanos was right. Maybe you know, like you know what I'm saying, like, you know, it's like
Yeah.
the villain, like his intention was, even though he's destroying 50% of life, his intention is actually for like
Yeah.
the long game thinking, and
Yeah.
you're just like, damn,
So that's like I'm always thinking like that's why I'm like I guess like that just when you said long term thinking like I'm always thinking about like my life and like what my next steps are like after
You got a
China
lot of plans.
or
You got a lot of
a lot of
plans, man.
opportunities. It's just making them happen and all those plans. I don't want to any plans that I'm trying to execute. I don't want to like look back and say, oh man, if I just could have, if I just would have like.
Yeah.
And I don't exactly. I live in the moment, but I don't just go with the flow.
Yeah.
Sometimes I live in the moment. Like,
Yeah.
go with the flow, but I want to have a plan of where that river ends.
Yeah,
Or where that
yeah,
river's
yeah.
go. I want to know the map.
Where it's gonna flow to.
I'll flow down the river, but I want to
Yeah.
know the map of
Where-
the
where
river a
it's gonna
little
flow
bit.
to.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
I feel that.
And if I can dig
Yeah.
my own trail on that river, if
Yeah,
that makes
yeah.
sense, like, yeah, man.
Yeah.
So
I feel that 100% because you're
Goals,
literally, you're
you know?
going you're
Goals,
trying to
yeah.
you're trying to flow to the ocean essentially, right? Like you're trying to get to the big thing.
Exactly.
And to kind of go back and stuff like that, like yeah, like definitely business people as much people want to talk shit about China. We're definitely gonna do business with them.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
I've been
So
so
cheap.
so
So
low key
cheap.
so low key I've been working on my own product line.
Oh, really?
Not merch, not like shirts and stuff. I do
Yeah.
have through metroicon.live. I do have shirts still available, and you can get and t-shirts and hoodies.
What's your audio? What's your video
Show me,
guy's
show me.
name again? Plug him in really quick. What's his-
Johnny put it in. Johnny put it in.
Johnny. Here's another one.
Metroicon.live. You can get shop now. Click shop now to find all the merch for Metroicon. But no, I'm creating my own accessory line, dude. And so I've been talking to a manufacturer in China,
Yeah.
and we were able to do a WhatsApp video call.
How'd that go?
And it was good. He spoke
Good English.
decent, yeah. It was
Some of them are pretty good, man.
Yeah,
Like,
it was
most
decent.
of them are really good. Like
decent. Like there was some navigating, but I actually didn't have to recorrect
Yeah.
my like clarification or like the way I talk.
Usually people that are like managers in these big places in China, they can speak some English because it's like international business, right? Because they know they're going to be dealing with other countries. That's their goal.
Yeah, it's like India.
That's their goal. Same thing. So that's
Yeah.
how they have these English speaking guys. But the older generation, because now they make it like kind of mandatory in schools to like teach English. So all the younger kids growing up know it, or they went to school in America or wherever they explore a little bit. But the older generation, it's like, like forget about it. Like, dude, they don't. Seriously, they just don't know. Like, they just don't know English. But you have to realize that you're stepping foot in their country. Like, you have to.
I think that's the
You have to do that.
I think that's
You
the
have to deal
second
with
time
that.
you're talking about the driver, the DD driver.
Oh, bro.
Where you were talking about the DD driver, and then you're
No,
talking everything. It's like they just start going in and like blah, blah, blah.
So I'll give you another quick Chinese lesson. They say don't ever do the rule of three, right? So this is gonna be a third one. So timadong mean timadong, something like that. It means like I don't understand, which is kind of the signal. Like they don't do like phrases and like all these little shortened slang versions. We have so much slang in America. For like every word has a slang word almost.
Yeah.
Theirs is like this word means that. That's it. There's not a lot of slang, right? There's a couple little fake words. I don't know. But like we have so many fake words that are some would call it the urban dictionary, not the actual dictionary, right?
Yeah.
They don't have an urban dictionary. They have the dictionary, right? And they draw it. So I'm just getting on a tangent. I'm sorry, but
No, it's okay.
anyways,
we
so
love you, China.
So you call the guy, right? The DD, and he's calling in you. And in Laowai also, Laowai means foreigner. So you need to know these
outsider.
you need to know these two words for the story: Laowai and Timadong. Timadong means I don't understand. Laowai means I'm a foreigner.
Mm-hmm.
The guy calls me screaming at me because they always do this when they're like 2 minutes away. It's like Uber. You see, like when I paid for it. Clearly, if you're here, okay. If I'm late, call
Is
me.
the app in English?
Mine is, yeah.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
it is also in Chinese too. Like it's a hybrid. It's weird.
Ah.
Anyways, so the dude's gonna call you 2 minutes away, and I just don't even answer the phone. But sometimes they just keep on calling. They want to make sure you're there. And I'm like, of course I'm here. I want to ride. I've been waiting, right?
No, but trust me, as a rideshare
Yeah.
driver, trust me, like I get it. I get it.
I get it. But the dude is screaming at me, so I answer sometimes. He goes, you know. So that was the rule of three right there. That was the rule of three. I can't do it again this whole show, or it's not gonna work. But well, I guess for the sake of the story, so dude, the guy, and then I'm like, this is where you need to know, right? I'm like, Timadong, Lawai. I don't understand. I'm a foreigner. And then he pauses. There's just this silence, and there's nothing for like 30 seconds. Then he's like,
Ah, that's four. That's four.
I know. I
That's
went over.
four. That's four.
Screw the rule of three,
You are
man.
officially cursed.
Oh, really?
You are officially cursed now. A dragon gonna eat you. It's done, bro. No, I guess I get it, dude.
It's wild. It's
no,
the
but like I
oyster,
can't
yeah.
imagine that because it's like, dude, like moving to Texas, this was the first place I moved from Chicago.
And somebody screamed at you in Chinese.
No. Yeah. And it sounded like a Tasmanian devil. Fucking Arnold Schwarzenegger in an action movie. Fucking Chinese.
Get
like,
to the chopper now.
yeah, like angry Chinese just sounds like Arnold Schwarzenegger
Yeah,
trying to
it
fucking
is,
do
it is. And sometimes when they talk, they scream. And I asked my buddy Freddie, he's Chinese, he's got good English, and Freddie's like, "Oh no, they're just talking." And I'm like, "What these guys are like?" And they're like they're just screaming at each other.
Do you think it's like more of an infliction thing? Like, so you're saying like if you say I don't understand, like was it Timidong?
Timidong.
Timidong?
Timidong or Timidong. I always mix it up.
Timidong?
If you say something like that and just keep on saying it,
Timidong.
eventually it'll register.
Like, do you think it's like supposed to be like they can't understand the infliction and when you're saying it? So if you were like you're saying Timidong, but if you were like Timidong,
No, like
Timidong,
no, it's not like that.
Timidong.
No,
like it's not. It wouldn't.
No.
They wouldn't understand it.
No, it's Chinese is all about tones, man. Like
That was bad. That was
that was really racist. This is
But India and Asia too. That's
yes,
what I said.
he is. Sean is our. Sean gets away with saying a lot of
India
stuff. because
is an Asian too. And look at
Sean
my
is
face.
a brown
Look
man.
at my face, Chinese. Look at my face, Chinese. You would think I'm Filipino.
Okay, so wait. So speaking of going back to like you a little bit, like your catchphrase always. I mean, mine was Chicago when we were emceeing together, but your catchphrase is always y'all. What's up, y'all? And that's your thing. You always say y'all. And I was like, man, when you told me you were gonna move down to Texas, I was like, dude's done it.
I was ready.
Dude's done it.
I was ready
y'all.
for it,
like,
dude.
because you came. Now you're in the place of the y'alls.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
It's probably
Like,
stronger
you
now.
Is way stronger because it's a
Yeah.
common thing to say
For sure.
versus like you an uprising MC in Chicago going y'all, but it makes sense. But at the same time, I'm like, damn, now he's actually, and it worked there in Chicago, but now he's going somewhere where it is a thing. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm like, I don't know. Like, I love that catchphrase was like your big one, your finisher in Chicago. But then like, you know what I mean? Like it works here too, like, which is awesome because they say that shit here.
Yeah.
Like-
I mean, they definitely say.
Howdy, y'all.
You know what though? Like, so I had family here in Texas. You know, like from the jump, and I think I told you that and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But a lot of my cousins, so like, you know, I was kind of used to it, but I always like it's become a very natural thing. I'm like, yeah, what are y'all doing? You know, like
It flows.
it flows. You know, it's easy to say. It just kind of. So now I think it's just such a like unconscious nature of me to like just always say
Right.
like y'all instead of like you all. You know, like
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen.
what's that, y'all? You know, like
What
yeah,
do you?
I say that a lot.
I have a question for you. It's like I'm running the interview now.
No, this is a conversation. bro.
Of course. I'm
just the host.
I just always wanted to say that. You watch The Office, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where he's like, you said I'd be conducting the interview when I walked in here. I've just always wanted to say that. It's like, so I've said it. I'm done. I'm out.
I'm a big Office fan. So
interview over.
I know all Jim Dwight moments. So yes.
Yeah, dude. So anyways, no, my question for you was, so from moving from the Chicago metropolitan area down to like Texas, like because we obviously know the scene up there. We know the music, we know the people, we just know all the stuff. We've been there for almost our whole lives, right? So then you move down here and you're like at zero and you're like, you know, shoot, like shit, like what do I do? And how did you feel about the music? Because country, even though, yeah, we have like Northern Illinois, Wisconsin, they got country music, but down here, is it like, was that like a harder?
It's not all country.
Like, but how is the market getting into Dallas? You know what I mean? Like, what do you, I'll let you go on that.
Yeah,
You know what I mean though, right? Like,
yeah,
how
no,
is it getting transferring into Dallas?
I hear what you're saying because Chicago has
'Cause
had.
we haven't had that chat yet, actually.
Well, no, Chicago has had an established, diverse market. It's been like that for a long time. Right. Now the diversity has been growing here in DFW in the last 10 years.
Right.
There's so many people from all over the world that are coming here to DFW. So, like, have you been to Deep Ellum?
No.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know, man.
Yeah. So
I visit here and there. You
yeah.
know, like,
So like Deep Ellum, like that's kind of like I consider that kind of like the New Orleans of Dallas. It's like 4 blocks, different restaurants, bars, live entertainment scenes, and it's culture everywhere.
Right.
They're playing all sorts of types. There's such a diversity that's moving here that Texans understand that is coming here, that they're willing to embrace that culture. But they're almost like, well, you better also understand the Texan way, you know?
Right,
But
right.
I kind of knew that my dynamic as an entertainer and as a showman was actually going to adapt very well here, mainly because it's funny. Like when you tell a Texan like where you're from originally, like you came here from somewhere else in America, not like outside, not a foreigner, but like you came from a different state,
right. Transplant.
Most Midwesterns are very greatly accepted here in Texas.
Yeah, because it's a similar vibe up there.
But
in
if
a
you
way.
tell somebody you're from California, New York, they're like, "Oh,
this dude,
this
yeah.
motherfucker is the reason this shit was
East
ruined."
Coast guy.
East Coast, West Coast.
What is it about the coast that like?
You know
and
why?
I don't mean to hate. I got a lot of friends.
You
on
wanna
both
know
sides,
why?
But like, I feel like LA is very. Everyone goes there and like is all snobbish on the phone, like whatever. And then East Coast is like, if you don't have yacht shoes and a boat, like get out of my face. Or like,
Well,
very
no,
hardcore.
no.
Maybe they're a little more hardcore.
I would argue that. Like that would probably be more L.A.
Yeah,
Like
okay.
New York is more try to keep up.
Right, but LA's everybody stabbing each other in the back in LA.
Yeah,
Like, that's what anyone that's
I would
worked there has
never
told
live
me
in
that.
LA. I could never live in LA.
It's oversaturated.
I've been
It's way
told
oversaturated.
numerous times like, yo, why don't you move out to LA and like build like I would fit the mold for so many different mediums as far as marketability and any type of like entertainment medium, right? But I just didn't think I could adapt to that lifestyle.
Yeah.
Like, and I felt like it would. And if I did adapt, it would have changed me for the worse. And I don't want that. New York, like as much shit that I can talk about New York, like New York and Chicago are very similar in nature.
Yeah. Yes.
But New York is so like that. I believe in the statement where like if you can make it in New York, you can make it anywhere is
Right.
absolutely true.
There's some rent prices.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
London
right?
is huge,
And
too.
Chicago's
So
kind
expensive.
of on that route.
Yes.
Chicago's kind of on that route with New York. New York has just as much corruption in a degree as Chicago.
Right.
And so like, the rich is getting rich and everyone else is just hustling to come by,
Right.
you know?
Right. Of course.
And so like the biggest difference is that New York or Chicago is cleaner than New York.
yes.
Much cleaner.
Yeah.
And not and like Chicago,
Better waste. Shout out to the waste management department.
I mean, they're still working.
Insert website.
But Chicago's clean.
Yeah.
Chicago is a clean city.
Yeah.
And the biggest thing too is like I noticed this in Chicago, like from when I did one Chicago events and when I was in New York, that in Chicago, it's likely that you might run into somebody that you know when you're just like out and about, right?
Right.
New York, it's very unlikely, and it's
lot of
more
people.
of a chance if you happen to run into somebody in New York,
Right.
Like it's almost like it's destiny.
You even watch the movies, all the people just walking down the street,
Yeah.
and you're like, oh my gosh.
So like in comparison
China.
to DFW, I would say DFW is on a come up like no other city. Because you
Yeah.
have like we're gonna go to Fort Worth tonight. We're gonna watch
Yeah.
Jamie Gravett. We're gonna watch Jamie Gravett
Insert
tonight.
here,
I
Instagram
know,
handle.
It got me. It got hooked me up for a show. But like I'm gonna record his set. But Fort Worth is more of a country scene. It's got the stockyards. You see like country cowboy dudes like still on horses walking around. Dallas is more the metropolitan,
Right.
and it just keeps growing, right?
Yeah.
Like if you look at the skyline of Dallas 10 years ago, looks nothing like what it looks like now.
Yeah.
And in 10 more years, dude, Dallas is going to be stacked.
Yeah.
Like so much like if you go to like this middle of Dallas, like the middle of the city of Dallas,
Yeah.
like before it used to be like within less than 10 miles, then it's just country, like fields,
Right.
farms, everything. Now you got to go like 50, 60 miles at least
Right.
before you start. I mean, you have some areas that have pockets of like the country fields, but again, like Dallas has been very receiving of me, and I love that. I've been very, very happy here. I feel like that I've had my own personal growth and progression here.
Right.
And they've been receiving of what I've been putting down.
Right.
I came down
That's
here
good,
though.
man.
I came down here because I honestly truly felt, no joke, and this might sound a little arrogant, but I felt like my energy wasn't here. I felt like who I am, and you knowing who I am, I felt like who I am as a person, and not just DFW or like Dallas, but in Texas.
Yeah.
As looking into Austin, looking into San Antonio, looking into Houston.
Who's
I just-
popping? Yeah.
I just feel like that my energy, who I am as a person, who I am as a showman, it wasn't here. And so like I was thinking long term, I'm like, I'm gonna be able to get these. I know these people.
Right.
And it's from everywhere, and I know that I adapt
Yeah.
to that spectrum. So, you know, in a sense, it hasn't been that hard because Dallas has been coming up pretty
Right.
pretty
man.
well.
You Portillo's is down here now too.
It just opened,
Dude, I
in
know.
the colony.
I know.
I just saw that.
I haven't even had.
I haven't gone, dude. I just saw.
I didn't even have Portillo's in
Bro,
Chicago.
you know
yet.
how fast they opened that Portillo's?
I haven't, dude. Well, once the dude sold it off, it was like boom, bing, 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 bing. They popped
Bro.
up everywhere.
Do you know how fast they opened that
Yeah.
Portillo's, dog?
It's only was in Chicago. You can
Like,
get this.
like that's how Texas operates.
Imagine they have to put a Gene and Jude's.
Like, I want to. No, they would never do that.
no, I mean, yeah.
That's like putting a Wiener Circle anywhere else out of Chicago, dude.
Gene and Jude's.
Gene and Jude's? No, they wouldn't do it. They wouldn't
Dude,
do
if
it.
you ask for ketchup and Gene and Jude's, they will like take out a.
Yeah,
they will.
any
they
Chicago
will do.
person.
Any one of those employees will do another dime.
You want to know? You want
kill
to know? You know
If you
what's
ask
so
for
funny?
ketchup.
I was in Phoenix, and I was like out and about, and they have like these like little hot dog guys like with the
Yeah,
carts,
yeah.
and it says like Chicago style hot dogs. I was like, I'm from Chicago, and
Let's
I want to
see.
see if it's actually a real Chicago style hot dog.
Yeah.
And
Because everybody just says like world's best pizza.
Yeah.
Like, oh, yeah. Well, yeah.
It
when was the vote?
it had-
Did I miss it?
it had more than 4 ingredients, and I was like, it's not a Chicago style hot dog.
Dang, called him out.
Yeah.
Damn. And he's like, whoa, whoa, whoa.
I was like-
no. So this is when it, nigga. this is when the Chinese people come in with that.
This is not a Chicago style hot dog.
This is. It's like it's like it's like
Yo, you know how amazing that is that
Oh,
we can
man.
say that it has no black reference whatsoever.
It's true.
It's a word. Look it
That
up.
what we're trying to do is no black reference ever.
But if anyone needs
give me one
Son's
second.
address,
Give me 1 second. Let me check this camera real quick. I'm gonna keep this going.
okay.
You can keep talking. Tell me your favorite color in China.
My favorite color in China. What do you think? Just like there's other colors around the world that only exist in China.
What the fuck are you saying, dude? What are
You said
what are you
ask me
talking
about your favorite color.
What are you talking about, dude?
What are you asking me?
Welcome back to this next segment.
Oh, wow, that was a good trick. That was a good trick. Okay.
Yeah.
Got him.
Yeah, we do have to probably close this podcast at least because we have to head out. We have to get to Fort Worth a little bit early. I do want to get some food too.
5:41.
Who's
Yeah,
calling me?
true.
Who's calling me right now?
Nobody's calling you.
Kush
Hello.
is calling me. I can't talk to you, Kush. You know what? Kush is gonna be on the podcast. You ready
Okay.
for this?
Hi, Kush.
Yeah. Hey, yo, Kush. I'm actually recording a segment for the Metro Icon podcast, and you're on right now. What's up, dude?
What's up, buddy? How's it going?
I'm hanging out with my boy Robby Allen right now, and I have the phone on speakerphone in front of the microphone. So you're live, dude. What do you want to say to the world?
Wow, that's amazing. I'm honored and listen to the Metro Icon podcast. Oh my god.
Oh my God, you sound
He's a
nervous.
star. He's
Yeah,
a
why do you have to put me on
star
the
now.
spot like that?
What? It could be because that's our friendship, is it not?
Oh, yeah, that's very true.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I should have done.
Hey, by the way to you, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Yeah. No. Happy New
No,
Year.
tell him you give him a pass. Tell him you want to do the Indian accent.
No, this is a big year for my friend Kush. He's
Is
getting
it?
married to his love
What?
this year.
Congratulations,
Yeah,
Mr. Kush.
and beyond anything, you know who he booked for his wedding?
Ooh, Shawn Kay the Showman.
And
Sanu DJ Illis.
yeah. Kush, you can't hear it, but I just dropped the air horns on
Son
the.
who's in the atrium. Son who's in the hall. Sanu's at the Bulls Arena. Sanu does it all.
Yeah. So
I miss Sanu, man. I miss Sanu so much.
I know Illis miss you. I can try and FaceTime him, but I'm 80% sure he won't pick up my phone call.
Really?
I'm 80% sure he won't pick up my phone call. He's like, dude, the Bulls got me in, hanging out with
Okay,
them.
okay. What if? How funny would this be if you called him and he didn't answer, and then I called him and he answered? Dude.
The fury,
Oh, would that make you mad? Should we do it?
the anger,
Should we do it?
the anger. But I will
You
say,
call him first.
I
You
will
call
say
him
confidently that if I called Sanu and you called him after, he would not pick up.
Why?
I
Because
just
then
know.
he would know something's up.
Bro, no. I just know. I know for a fact, like, he just wouldn't. He would text you.
Yeah.
He would text you. Right? He's like, "Yo, I'm on this gig, or I'm getting ready for this.
Yeah.
I'll hit you up later or tomorrow, whatever."
Is Kush still on the phone?
Kush is
I
still
am
on the
still
phone.
I am still on the phone.
By the way, Kush, did you call for anything important, yaar?
Nothing super important. We can definitely chat after your session.
Yeah, I'll hit you up. Just make sure that you will listen to Robby Allen's episode for the Metro Icon podcast, so you can hear this segment drop in.
Will do. Awesome.
Yeah. Make sure you guys look up Kush Desai. Look up his social security number. It's 778 468 9271.
And my Instagram and my 300.
What's
followers,
the Instagram? Tell everyone your Instagram.
It's just
Chevy
it's not worth
Chasers
following.
69
Yeah.
at
Look up Kush and start following him, and then once you see his wife Lexi, then just make sure when you follow her, you still follow him too.
Kush. Can you hear
Yeah,
me?
yeah. She's got more followers than I.
Yeah.
Can Kush hear me? I don't think he can hear me.
No. Well, you can hear you talking. You can hear Robbie, right, Kush?
Yeah, I can.
Oh man, so he heard the thing about the Chevy Chaser 69 at.
Do you get that reference? Because I don't.
Do you know what a Chevy is?
A Chevy?
Well, like if you're a man and you're a Chevy Chaser, do you know what that
Chubby
means?
Chaser, got
No,
it.
not a chubby, like a Chevy Chaser. You know, like
Oh, I think he said Chevy Chaser.
Oh, is that Lexi in the background?
yeah. See, she's getting. Oh, now Lexi's
What's
on the
up,
podcast.
boo?
Lexi, this is Robby Allen. You're live on Shawn Kay the Showman. And
No,
am
it's
I
Metro
saying it
Icon
correct?
podcast with Shawn Kay the Showman.
Whatever, man.
Get it right, you fucking MC.
See, but then I gave Shawn a plug there. Okay, Lexi, what am
my
I
own
saying it right
show.
or wrong? I plugged you. I went 10%.
Wait, what were you saying?
What? What is it called? Is it Chevy Chaser or Chubby Chaser?
I don't know what a Chevy Chaser
I don't know what a Chevy Chaser is.
It's like a guy that like he only likes bigger girls.
What? No,
Yeah.
that's a chubby chaser. What's a Chevy Chaser?
I thought that's. Oh, I heard that. I don't know.
Did you think those were two different words said for
I
the
heard-
same thing?
I heard it in a movie once. The guy used Chevy. He didn't say chubby.
Yeah, you know what? I'm not gonna talk about the feeling. I'm not gonna talk about the vices that we both did before we started this podcast. Just to get us in our organic feelings.
Booze for me. This is great, this
Yeah.
is great whiskey, by the way.
That's
What
the,
is it again?
The Evan Williams honey bourbon.
Dude, so good.
Yeah,
My
but
gosh.
hey, Kush, man, I love you, dude, and I'll give you a call after this. I appreciate you calling when you did,
Thanks for coming on the
Sounds
show,
good,
Kush.
buddy.
because it would
You
if
guys
it was
enjoy.
if it was a telemarketer, I would have hung up so hard, and I was like, oh, Kush, it doesn't happen that often.
That would have been fun to yell at a telemarketer though.
Yeah, no. But
I haven't done
I-
that in a long
all
time.
right.
Continue on. We'll talk soon.
I love you. Bye.
All right.
That's my dude.
That was random, but that was fun. Like we literally called him. Was like, is it Chevy Chaser or Chubby Chaser? Because he was like, you were trying to plug him.
By the
so
way,
I was
that's
like,
terrible.
Chevy
That was
69.
stupid. Whatever that was the dumbest thing. It was like Chevy Chaser. It's like, oh, you like old white man comedy? like
He drives a Chevy.
You chase Chevy Chase comedy? That's what you do with Chevy Chaser? Like, that's what I'm thinking in my brain. But you're
That's
like,
what you were going
Chevy Chaser and Chubby Chaser. You just like big women. like, what the fuck, dude? That was legitimately stupid. That was a stupid reference.
It was funny.
It was funny because of how stupid it was.
He's a. Well, I mean,
No, why would you say now? It
he's
sounds
a Chevy
like.
Chaser?
How are you saying that? Why would you say he's a Chevy Chaser? His girl is very, very like she's very like tight. She's very not tight. She's like very well in shape.
No, okay, so you
Very
gotta-
well.
Okay, first of all, I've never met this guy. I've never met this girl.
So why are you assuming his woman is
No, you're
a
missing.
Chevy Chubby Chaser?
You're missing the point. I said you were plugging in his Instagram, and I was trying to take a piss out of it and be like Chevy Chaser 69 at because you were giving out a fake social security number.
Yeah. Well,
So I was
your
like-
piss was filled with bullshit. That's
6'9",
that's
6'9",
That's what it was.
6'9".
You were shitting poop. That's what you were
Shitting
fucking doing.
poop.
That's what, did not hit. But it's okay. Robbie, nobody bats 1,000. It's okay. Nobody
No,
bats 1,000.
I thought if I would have said Chubby Chaser, it would have been funny.
it would have sounded like you were calling his future wife fat. That's
But
what
I
it
don't know his future wife. I've never met her.
So why would you say it in the first place?
I don't know.
Exactly.
To make fun of him.
And
But I don't know it. But I don't
you
know
don't
him,
know
though. I know.
him. You know,
It's so bad. of me.
that's a problem. That's a problem.
And this is where we bring in our message about bullying kids.
Hey,
If you were a loved one.
hey, you know what? It's not you. It's them.
No,
Okay. So then now I want to make a public apology, Mr. Kush. Hopefully,
Mr. Kush.
Mr.
Mr. Kush is his daddy. Okay.
Oh, okay, sorry.
His name is Kush Desai.
Kush Jr.?
No, Kush Desai.
Kush Desai.
Yeah.
Mr. Kush Desai. I am no way talking about your wife.
Yeah,
or
you
your
don't know
fiance or
Lexi.
anything.
She's an angel.
No, she sounds really nice on the phone. But no, that was just to take a joke because we were inserting fake numbers.
Mm-hmm.
If we really want you to follow Mr. Kush, follow him at. No.
You can follow his
can
wife,
follow.
Lexi.
You're pulling for Lexi so
Well,
hard.
because Lexi is more of a social butterfly.
yeah.
Kush was like, he was kind of like you. He actually had it before he got his current job and that he's been in Chicago. This dude, I think, was an auditor or something. And he was
Really?
like, but he was a traveling auditor and he was traveling like and doing like 3 to 6 month contracts or maybe a little bit more and like all over the world. And he was just all over the place. But now he's settled with his lady.
Right.
He's doing well.
Good for him.
He's doing well. He's doing well enough to book us
Yeah.
for his wedding. So
God, Lexi's probably sitting there going like, "Who is that guy that just called me fat?" And I did not call her fat. That was
Yeah.
Oh, I feel so bad.
yeah, no, you should feel awful. She's beautiful. She's a beautiful person inside and out. Lexi.
See, I
and
wish-
she's a wedding planner.
Oh God.
Yeah.
I'm never gonna work as a mobile DJ.
You'll
again. You're blacklisted. You're out. You're out of here.
Stick to stunting, Robbie.
Yeah.
You stick to stunting. You're never coming back into this wedding scene.
Never coming back from
No,
that.
no. It's all out of love. And you know what? I love him to death. Kush, I've known Kush longer than you.
Yeah.
I've known him since I was a sophomore in high school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
wow. Where is it? Where he went to the same high school as you?
Yeah.
And does he live down here?
No, he lives in Chicago.
Good, so he can't beat me up until I get back.
He wouldn't though. He wouldn't though.
No, he
he's a big
understood.
sweetheart.
He
He's a big
understood.
sweetheart. Yeah, he's a big sweetheart. And then he's about to marry a big sweetheart. You know.
Good for him.
Congratulations, Cushing Lexi. I can't wait to party with you on September 16th. I believe.
Don't kill me, Lexi.
No, she won't. She won't. She's got a good sense of humor. I would say that her sense of humor might even be better than his. Who knows? But anyways, back to the conversation at full. This is about you, Robbie. This is about you, and you're not an asshole.
No, that was.
You're a very nice guy, Robbie. You've always been a very, very nice guy.
I fixed your stuff the second we walked in here.
You did.
You're like, "Yo, bro, this
Actually,
table."
that's a testament. That's a testament to like not only as a professional, but who a friend you are. You're like, as I'm setting up for the podcast, you're like, what can I do?
Yeah.
You know, what can I do to help you? And I'm like, I got this. And then my ring light, you were the
The cord
power
came unplugged,
the
yeah.
power connection thing went inside the little electrical frame. And you're like, yeah, just give me a Phillips head, bro. I got this. and I was able to finish. I finished my setup and got everything good. And then, you got the brain working, bro.
Yeah.
That's you, dude. You know, I should have probably, because the sun went down, I feel like I should have fixed the lighting.
Am I like super bright now?
You know what? You might be like
Too bright.
villainous, like more villainous
Oh,
shade.
great.
You know what? I'm gonna take a quick second and I'm gonna fix your lighting.
Fix my lighting.
I'm gonna fix both of our lighting. You ready for
Okay,
this?
go.
All right, we're right back. Go ahead and listen to these sponsors, and we'll be right back. And of course, y'all, you know I got to talk about my businesses. Do It All Entertainment. For anyone looking to amplify their next live event, whether it's a corporate event, conference, or that special wedding celebration with your loved ones. Do It All Entertainment brings the highest and most dynamic performance entertainment with top quality audio and visuals. There's literally no limit to what we can provide and can be accomplished at your next event. So visit us at doitallive.com or email us at info@doitallentertainment.com. Mention the Metro Icon Podcast to get a unique offer on your next event package. Then, of course, we have DIA Media for your go-to media production and creative consultation needs. If you're looking to amplify your business or brand visual promotions and trying to start a podcast of your own, reach out to DIA Media through our Facebook page and mention the Metro Icon Podcast to get a special offer on your production needs. Yo, now I gotta tell you about my number one spot in all of Fort Worth. This is the Library Bar FTW. It's the most unique bar and entertainment venue located in downtown Fort Worth, Texas. From its chic library ambience, multi-level beercade gaming space, you can find the most dynamic events and party atmosphere you will not find anywhere else. And it's always the spot you can catch me at. Check out the Library Bar at 611 Houston Street, right at the center of downtown Fort Worth, and get everything you could ever want on your night out. All right, and man, how much better does Robby's lighting look now? Just like a hero, you know, like hero, bro. No. So you while we're taking this like little quick break, you looked up what Chevy Chaser actually means.
Yeah.
What does it actually mean,
Kush,
dude?
if you're still watching, so this is like where I cover my own butt. So I looked up Chevy Chaser on Urban Dictionary, and because I said you were plugging in the backstory, plugging in his Instagram handle, and I said Chevy Chaser at 6'9", at whatever, just joking around. No, Lexi, I'm sorry.
You can feel so bad.
I feel terrible because I hope they didn't take it the wrong way.
No. I'm looking forward to the moment that Kush and Lexi actually meet you in real life.
It's gonna be the best opening. I'll be like, you remember?
They're gonna hear this segment in the episode. They're gonna be like, oh,
It's gonna be like a core memory.
Yeah. So what's a Chevy Chaser?
So a Chevy Chaser on Urban Dictionary is name of a local famous straight dog out of Northern California. What? So
Kush,
you a dog, you an OG.
Kush is a pretty straight dog.
Straight dog.
He's pretty straightforward.
I'm pretty straight shooter too, Kush.
Yeah, so it ain't bad. He wasn't talking about you, Lexi.
No.
You ain't no dog.
I didn't even know Lexi
You
was
an
there.
angel. That's right. Well, yeah, man. This is going back to memory lane. I keep going back to even beyond Castle, dude. Our America's Bar with Richard Garcia.
Oh man, yeah, you got me that job. You were looking for a DJ. That's when I first met Sonu.
R.I.P. America. Richard Garcia's America's Bar. R.I.P.
Well, is it gone?
Yeah.
What? Nobody
It doesn't
bought
exist anymore.
It's gone.
The last I checked, unless he reopened and found another place, it no longer exists.
That thing should have shut down years ago.
You want to know something wild? Because I still keep in touch with some of the people there.
Yeah.
D.
Oh,
You remember Deanna?
Yeah.
She's about to be a mom.
I know. I'm friends with her on Facebook. I saw
Yeah.
that. Good for her.
Yeah. Good job, D. We're happy for you, and you're gonna be a great mom.
She's too busy.
But
But we miss you.
But yeah, dude, those days, man.
Yeah.
I mean, we've had some really fun moments.
The problem, dude, we had a great vibe there going. We had consistent people coming. The funny thing is that was the Thursday night spot. Like we get good on Friday and Saturday, but Thursdays was always like
Thursdays was bigger than Fridays and Saturdays.
It was banging.
It was
always
bigger
on
than Fridays and
Thursdays.
Saturdays.
And the problem with the owner, I have to give some credit to Rich. Like he has his flaws, but he was a really nice dude in some cases.
He was
really
a good dude.
But he would. It was his baby. It was his baby, and he wanted to micromanage too much, especially when it came to the music. He's like, "What is this remix? This and that." And I'm like, "It's just an intro beat, so I can He would micromanage the music for everything. Or if we were in the middle of the song, he would run over and yell, "You do a better impression."
Slam it! Slam it!
Slam it, Dougie, Nay, right now, Nay.
Put the Dougie, put the Dougie right now, slam it.
We'd be in the middle of a chorus. Sean's emceeing like riffing and rapping and getting everyone hyped up because he knows the song, right? But then this guy, the owner, comes up and yells at me to play this song now. Like, I don't care. Slam the crossfader over and just play it right now. Boom. Like, he didn't. And I was like, he doesn't care. He just wants to
And
keep
you know
people
what
going.
happened?
But I'm like, it makes us look bad. It makes
Yeah.
us look like we don't know what the heck we're doing.
Yeah.
And we've been doing this for years.
Bro, I had moments.
You know what I mean?
I remember a big moment happened.
Which is going to not make people want to
Yeah.
come back because they're like, okay, they played good music, but the DJ was crap.
Yeah.
Because this dude's micromanaging and telling us when to transition.
and they're not
everything.
seeing him.
It was crazy.
They're not seeing him doing like yelling at you in your ear to do that.
No, they just hear,
see you in front of the
result.
decks, right?
They see the result. They
I
see
remember
you.
one
Yeah.
time, man. I did
And
a
it screws you up. You're in the middle of a dance
Yeah.
or a bit, and you're emceeing.
Yeah.
And you come over to me like, "What's up?" And I'd be like, "Dude, Rich."
Yeah.
And you knew, so you couldn't get
Yeah.
mad at me.
But
Or
like-
sometimes you'd see it coming, and you could see him like, "Oh, here he
Yeah.
comes." So you just
And
get ready because you know it's going to change.
You and I had a lot of conversations about this, and like, we liked Rich, but it was like there was like these too many moments where we were just
Yeah.
being like belittled and just like
we almost had a
disrespected.
set. We almost had a set we had to play to some
and
degree. Like
I
an
remember
unwritten set.
my big moment I had with Rich where I don't know what happened, man. It was a stage moment. Like I
Yeah.
remember I used to run all those games and
Yeah,
contests.
yeah,
and
yeah,
all
yeah.
that
In
stuff,
between
right?
the bits, yeah.
And so like it was something, and I kind of was like I think coming out of the contest or whatever. Oh no, it was a dance floor portion. It was after the contest. It was like a dance floor portion, and man, I have the stage packed. I have like people all in front of the stage, like like on the floor in front of the stage. And this dude started getting mad at me about something, but he's yelling at me at the bottom of the stage, and he's like putting his finger in my face, and he's yelling at me.
Really?
And I'm like, this is the only time I'm gonna keep the microphone down while you yelling at me like that.
Yeah,
dude.
yeah.
I was like, if you have something to tell me, dude, you will not talk to me like that in front of these people like this
Right.
at your night, because I promise you, bro, it's only gonna not work out in your favor. Like,
right,
it's
yeah.
only gonna work out in my favor, and it's gonna be worse for you, dude.
Yeah.
And he's like, just do it. Like he like got
Yeah,
like
yeah,
quiet. And then I had to have a huge talk with him afterwards. I'm like, fucking Rich, you're not gonna fucking do that with me, bro.
Yeah.
Like, I'm a huge catalyst. Like, aside from me emceeing your nights, I am bringing in these DJs.
People, yeah.
And then he brought in that one kid, Jake, and he was paying him like $50 less than you.
Or like
And
100 or
and
something.
Jake
Yeah.
was trying to just get his feet wet in DJing, and
Brand
knew
new. Brand new.
and knew that like, and Rich knew that if he told him to play something, he was gonna play it.
Yeah.
And then,
Yeah.
like it just was starting to go
Killed.
down. Because before that we had Mark D, and Mark D is a dope ass DJ.
Yeah, I
man.
love
Like,
Mark. Mark has when I
Mark
was
D is like a porn star's favorite DJ.
when I was spinning in like Chicago area full time. Mark was booking me all the time. A lot of guys were booking
Yeah.
me. And Mark was one of them. Mark shared a lot of music and remixes with me. Like I've done quite a few events for Mark. And
Yeah,
I've
he's a good
I've
dude.
hired Mark for like a couple house parties and
yeah,
stuff too.
I appreciate Mark a lot, man.
Yeah.
He was always a good dude.
No, Mark's an OG.
Wild
D.
life though.
Shout out to Mark D.
He's a wild
OG.
boy though. Mark D's a wild boy.
Dude, he's into like choppers and stuff now. Like,
oh no, he's been in that for a minute.
I know, but like he wasn't like that before. And then one day he bought a Honda like CBR 250. He had it for like, I don't know, a month, and he was like, dude, this is not a lot of
He's
power.
also a talented musician.
Yeah,
he's
dude,
like playing with bands and stuff.
I've
now.
been in his house. He
Yeah.
has like a double drum set with all these drums. I banged on. He's got like 100 guitars. You know, not 100, but he's got a lot of
A lot.
guitars. Like, he's really like he's a really
talented
yeah.
musician.
And a lot of guys that are talented musicians actually wind up being like DJs or MCs because sometimes you get in a band, you want to be in a band, you'd love to be in a band. We love listening to rock
I
songs,
love
stuff.
live band karaoke. I've always imagined being a front man in a band.
So the problem with it is now you have all these different people, you have egos, you have all this thing where so all these musicians, myself included, yourself as well, have like gone to this other side. Like I would love to start a band if it's with the right people and it's like the right vibe, the right music I want to create, right? But with DJing, you are the one-man band. You get to pick, other than with Rich, of course, at America's Bar. But you get to pick what you play. You get to read the crowd.
Throwing the shade right back.
Yeah, but that's why. And then all those musicians understand timing. We're not sitting there going
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You know,
you know
you
what it was?
understand. You
know-
count in your head.
You,
Like,
you know
just
what
know
is?
it. You feel it.
was,
You feel it.
Rich's downfall was like the old school club mentality.
Yeah.
And in a
everyone
sense-
there's 30 years
and
younger than him.
In a sense, it was also a stubborn old business mentality where like
Yes.
don't if it's not broken, don't fix it type
Right,
of mentality,
right.
Like
He didn't want to innovate. He didn't want to innovate.
He didn't want to innovate.
No, he didn't want to change
But
anything.
he gave me the realm to innovate because of the effect I was doing.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Once he saw, but you
Yeah.
to prove anything to him or to get a song approved was like it was ridiculous.
Yeah,
man.
you
I was
had
like,
to-
you
had to-
hired us to do
yeah.
a job. Let us. Our
You
job
had to
needs
kind
to
of
be creative.
argue, like to drop this song. He's like,
Yeah.
I don't know it, and I'm like,
yeah.
it's hot. Don't worry, it's
Trust
hot.
me, it's good. Like they're gonna like it. And then
Yeah.
he'd sit there, he'd see the reaction, he'd shake his head, and then,
And
he'd
then
just
walk
walk
away.
He'd just walk away. Wouldn't say anything. Like when Rich was pissed, like when you prove him wrong, he wouldn't say shit. He would just walk away.
You know,
When he wanted something, he's like, "Hey man, thanks. Could you do that for me?" Or he'd come over like we said earlier, screaming, "Play the nay now! Go!" Like
You also
Oh,
know,
it's
you also know
military.
what we're saying is true when we both said it at the same time.
Yeah.
like it was like it
Just
was
walk
to a T.
away.
It was to, like he would give you shit when
crazy.
he would give you shit when what you were trying to do didn't hit, and then if it did, whatever you were trying to do, something innovative did hit, he would say nothing.
Right.
And that was a big problem, and I think, and it's like people, and
it's
I
that
think
micromanaging. He's hungry. He
but it
wants
was a
the
lot
power.
of people, and it was a lot of people that worked there, and this is, I think, a fault to a lot of, especially like venue and club owners,
Yeah.
where like they have such a vision and how it needs to be,
Right.
and no one can tell them otherwise.
Yeah.
And that lack of awareness and that lack of being able to trying to like at least hear about some feedback, you know what I'm saying? That hear that criticism, hear that feedback. He definitely did not obtain that gene to be able to do so. Like, and so ultimately, I think that was his downfall. And I hope he's doing well. Like, he was a good dude. He has a good heart. He cared a lot about the community. And even if America's Bar is not open, I hope he's doing well, and I hope he's doing doing well.
No, he's not. He wasn't a bad dude. And
No,
like,
I mean,
yeah.
But
But
I
this is
worked
a
for him-
common problem
I
with-
worked for him for like a year or two, and
Yeah.
then I went on a contract, or I did some other bar, and then I came back for like 6-7
Yeah.
months.
Yeah.
And then a better King.
Even
thing
when I
came up.
left,
I came
even-
in like one night. I came
Yeah.
out on Thursday nights or something. So
Even
it was
when I
like-
left, I got a better job offer, and I was just like, I'm like, dude, like, I don't have to worry about this stuff. And he's like, well,
Right.
you know what? Don't tell anybody this. He's like, but like, if we can just say that, like, you got a greater opportunity. And I'm like, that's what I'm gonna tell everybody.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's what I'm gonna tell everybody. So it's all
Yeah.
good. And that was the basis of it, you know. And I had my personal reasons, just because I was just having these moments, and you know, he was just very high strung. And
Yeah.
I mean, dude, this dude was like also like handling security situations, getting his ass whooped and
And then-
swung on and all this kind of shit.
And then, yeah, it's crazy. All the fights that used to happen. Like I remember when dude, this was crazy. This story, like it was a Thursday night. The place was over capacity. It was like the last song of the night, and
the fire alarm got
I
hit.
remember the night.
and then Rich told me, like, normally we were killing the music at that time, and because of a fire alarm, we need to get everybody out, right? Safety. And Rich told me, turn it up, but play it over loud. And then the cops come in, and they tell me to turn it off now, or you look at both you and me, you're arrested, because they wanted to charge us with instigating a riot because we did. I turned on the roof is on fire. We don't need no water. Let the motherfucker burn, dude. And then everybody was like, the roof was on fire. They were all, get it. And everybody was going off. It was crazy. And Rich is like, turn it up. And then the cops come in. They shut it down. And then Rich comes.
Hoffman Estates did not fuck around.
No. So the second I turn the volume down, Rich comes over and he's like, what do you know, just like, like exactly. That's five. Like, dude, like, swear to God, that's how he did it.
Now you got to do it. You got to do a double rule of 3.
Exactly. I'm changing
Whoa.
that's what we're about, is changing the game.
Yeah. You got to do it
So-
at least one more time.
Anyways, so Rich comes over. Why'd you turn it down? And I'm like, the police told me to turn it down. Where were you? You know, like I was pissed at him. I was so mad. And it was my last Thursday night. It was my very last gig there. Yes. Because I was going to like Tommy Bartlett's in the Dells to do water ski show or something.
Which that was, dude, man.
Yeah.
When you did Tommy
crazy.
Bartlett's, now Tom, if
Yeah,
you guys
you
don't-
came. You came and watched that show.
yeah, dude, you hooked me up, bro. Like, and I was like, I have to go see you. It was like one of those things where I was like,
You saw me ski, not MC, right?
no, you did MC a little bit.
Or did I MC the second half?
I think so. Like
where
you
they did the
you
stage, the circus stuff.
Yeah, you did
Oh,
come
okay.
in. You did come in, and you did. I remember you doing MC work for sure.
Okay, so I skied and then MC the show, which I
Yeah.
usually do when friends come, unless they ask me to MC.
Why do
I'll
I feel
usually
like
do
you
both.
started the show? Maybe you
mean
did the
started the
first
show?
half. I think maybe you did
I
the
would
first
have
half.
I would have skied in the water ski show
And then MC?
MC. There's a 15-minute break and then MC the second.
But
half.
if you MC'd the whole show, then you wouldn't have water skied at all.
No, I would have done the entire thing from an end. And I know that you didn't watch me MC because you
Dude,
sat
I
in the
saw
front.
you on
skied
the mic, bro.
at the second half.
Okay,
Definitely at the second
okay,
half because I
okay.
didn't come sit next to you.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, it was the second half. Like I basically ran into the locker
That
room.
was a dope
changed,
seat. That was a
changed.
dope. It was a dope seat too.
It was right in front row. Yeah,
Yeah,
changed
front
and
row.
then ran under the stage and got ready to MC the second half. Yeah.
Dude, when you did that, Tyler, so for those of you who are not familiar with like the Tommy Bartlett show, it's a Wisconsin Dells water ski show. And Robby, after our stint with Castle, you know, when we were grinding out and just picking up gigs, but I think after like, a few more years after that, then he joined the Tommy Bartlett show. This is an established show. This is like a staple show from Wisconsin Dells.
Yeah.
And he got put on that, and he was an MC and also like a prominent water skier. Weren't you also the clown?
Everybody rotates who does the clown, but there was one year. I
Were you
won-
the clown then? I know.
No, not that night. No.
Yeah.
But everybody, we vote on clown of the year. Like, and it's not like who is a clown. It usually comes down to either one, who was the new guy and he had to do it the most. He usually gets it, or who was just like, damn, this guy. Every time he did it, even though it wasn't every day, but when he put on that makeup, like this dude sold it. Like really was like. They say to do Aqua the clown, like if you feel stupid, you're almost doing it right. Yeah. So I won Aqua of the Year
That's dope.
2016. I
That's
was
dope,
there.
that's dope.
I was there 2015, 2016, 2017, and 2019. 2018, I was in Japan.
Yeah. So, man, I mean, dude, so just with the extensive work history and like all the places that you've been through, I'm gonna go ahead and bring it back centralized to the point where, dude, I'm fucking grateful to have a friend like you and a relationship like you that's like that I can talk about my friend Robby Allen doing this dope ass shit, you know?
Appreciate that.
But you've also been a frequent supporter from me, even
I respect the hustle, man. Like,
Yeah,
I,
dude.
I understand the hustle.
yeah, you understand
You
the
know what I
hustle,
mean?
dude. You understand the hustle, but like your support has never been silent.
Yeah.
Like even when you were in China and all these years,
Yeah.
like you and I have maintained fairly frequent conversation.
Yeah.
You know,
Check in on you every
you
now
know,
and then. Hey, what's going on?
when you can get online, you know, like
when you're legally allowed to.
yeah. So, and dude, man, even looking at that, like with the whole like TikTok thing, like and how China TikTok works and how
Oh,
US
yeah,
TikTok works.
yeah.
That if you guys look up how
Crazy.
China TikTok works and how US TikTok works, you can understand how the government operates for their people
Yeah.
individually. TikTok is like literally like look up what China's TikTok like terms of like conditions and uses works and how America is. America is just like freeform.
Yeah.
China actually puts very catered content
Yes.
on to their residents, and I know this for a fact.
They want you to stick to a routine. That's
Yeah.
for sure.
And
if
so,
you're- if you're a
but
citizen.
again, it even through this dynamic that you have had to adjust to, I want to say that as a friend, as a colleague, I can see the growth in you of what you've accomplished from the experiences you've been through, and how open-minded and open-hearted you are to like most situations, man. And especially going through that situation, like through a pandemic. You know, like that is not an easy feat, especially for a country that has a lot more regulations and stuff
Yeah.
than what we're gonna do, right? And you're still able to come through and visit and see the crew and your family that you love and everything like that, dude. And it's not like you survived, you know.
Yeah.
But again, though, like as your friend, I can tell you that like I have seen the real like in-hearted growth.
Yeah. Appreciate that.
You know what I mean? Like you're doing more badass fucking things, dog.
Yeah.
And then like I know that a couple places in China have even allowed you to feature DJing and stuff, so you're still able to keep that alive.
Yeah.
Just DJing every once in a while, you know?
Yeah.
And you've always been the person that stayed the same person, dude. Like
Yeah.
Robby has always stayed the same person, and I think that I don't want to speak for you, but like I feel like that I've tried to maintain myself and who I am
Yeah.
and my nature in that same nature.
Yeah,
So it's
yeah,
kind of
yeah.
like real knows real, and we're always going to be shouting for our crew to be winning.
Right.
And dude, I appreciate you. I appreciate the relationship that we've had. I appreciate like the insight and just the overall camaraderie that you and I have been able to share. Genuinely, the genuine camaraderie that you and I have been able to share, man. It's one of those things, dude. It's like I take it way beyond to maybe what I say out loud, but like being you didn't have that much time for us to be able to hang out when you're visiting here in Texas, and I'm just like, we have to do a pod we have to do a pod session.
Yeah. I'm like, okay.
I'm like, we have to do it, and we have to go because like we have to make sure we get to this venue soon. But I want to make sure that before this podcast closes, I tell you, dude, I love you, dude. I love you. I appreciate you, man. I thank you for all the support that you've always brought into my career, my creative process, for us to be able to just have fun and create and just make stuff happen. And there's been very little compromise when it came to our relationship. And that's something that I've always appreciated.
Yeah, man.
And dude, I'm happy to see you fucking winning. And
Thank
I can't wait for you to come back.
Yeah.
And for you to be here. Because honestly, bro, fuck Chicago. Just when you're done with China, just move here, dog.
That's exactly what my mom said.
just fucking please.
Exactly what
Just,
my
I
mom
love
said.
you. I love you, Chicago. I love Chicago, but please, Robby Allen, don't go back. There's nothing waiting for you in Aurora.
I understand. But
Aurora's got nothing for you, dog.
grew up in Batavia. which is a
Batavia,
tiny
Aurora,
little town.
Napervalia, like
No, not Naperville, but yeah, man. No, I've always been appreciative of you and staying in touch, and
No, I love you, dude.
I appreciate you coming on here and letting me talk about like my career a little bit and just some stories we've shared together. And
Bro, you're a story that needs to be heard. That's the thing, man. Like who knows? I can't schedule an opportunity like this unless it's like a FaceTime call or a video call, and who knows how consistent that kind of conversation would be. The whole point of this podcast is for me to be able to have that organic engagement face to face.
But I think we talked a lot more about like you and me together,
Yeah.
which is good, man, because like we have
And a lot of people don't know that history with me too.
Exactly, and we don't need to know. We don't need to talk about ourselves the whole time in the story because we're gonna do more of these. This is gonna happen, down the road, like with future projects and everything. Because that's just the way the industry's going, with these podcasts and these interviews,
Dude, and
stuff.
even with the whole like going back to the whole
So
like
this ain't gonna be the last time we talk.
Oh, absolutely.
This is
not.
something I wanted to say that I thought was cool. Is that it's crazy to think like when we met each other like 10 years ago. Like, I mean, I had been DJing at that point up like 7 years, but like when I turned 21, that was the year I turned like 21. I think it was like 2014 or something like that. It was either 2013 or 2014. I was like, boom. I was like, now I'm allowed to like work in the clubs.
Yeah.
Because I was doing those younger gigs that you can do as a young DJ, but you can't go in the bar or you have to lie or something, right?
Right.
So I just thought it was really cool that like we've known each other since then, and I never thought in that moment on that stage, the first time we worked together, that we would be in this room with this setup doing this conversation 10 years later, still talking about how both of us are growing and learning and
doing what we
adapting
wanna do.
and doing what we want to do and doing what we love to do, no matter what
Yeah.
capacity that is. And I think that's just should be a statement that it can't
It's a
happen if you
beautiful
put in the
thing,
hard work.
dude.
Dude, it's awesome. We're here literally
Yeah.
to having this discussion. Like, I love that. Like, about just whatever. We're just chatting.
Yeah.
And I love that because it just shows that, like, man, if you just commit to something, you can make it. Like, you
Well,
just gotta
I
keep
mean,
going.
I guess this is a perfect segue to go ahead and close the podcast because I always end the podcast in the same way, and I allow my guest to present a final phrase, sentence, quote, word, whatever they want, a last sentiment that they want to leave out in the world is left on you. So what you just said was beautiful, but if you have anything else, this is your last sentiment right here.
I would just say, do what you love. Don't ever look back. And you don't want to have regret on your life saying, what if I just could have, or what if I should have, do what you love, truly shoot for that, and if worst comes to worst, there's other options out there. But if you don't try, you will never know.
That's right. And it's never too old to try.